Disaster in Indianapolis. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Colts cast. I sound a little sad, but I think we all are. We're here to talk about everything and anything Indianapolis Colts. My name is Eric Smith, co-host of the Colts cast. Alongside me, as always, I have co-host Jamal Lawrence here.
Yo, yo, yo.
Colts fall to the Commanders 16-17. How are we feeling, Colts Nation?
Not good. You're lying if you say you are.
I don't feel good. I really thought we were going to pull this one out. Like, I was getting my tweets ready to celebrate. 82-yard drive later. I am sick to my stomach. But let's just get right into it. We're 3-4-1 now. Our playoff hopes just got a little bit dimmer. You want to get right into the offense, Jamal?
Hey, let's go ahead and get. Actually, you know what? No. Before we get into it, I'm gonna take it to Twitter because Eric, this is exactly what I was talking about on the last episode. Chris Mortensen tweeted this morning about 10:43 this morning. Says Colts owner Jim Irsay clarified, rather empathetically, that he is giving no thought to firing Frank Reich as head coach or Chris Ballard as GM. Quote, I'm in a great spot with Chris and Frank. We are all re-energized with the move to Sam Ehlinger. Nothing is easy, but feels really good, unquote, Jim Irsay. Eric, all that does is solidify exactly what I said in the last episode. That's all it does. It just said, this was a blanket. This is a situation where Frank Reich knew he had to make a decision. It was a business decision because he said, lose my job or let someone else lose their job. And at the end of the day, hey, it's a dog-eat-dog world. You're going to always take care of yourself before you take care of somebody else. And you're a liar if you say you're not going to. Frank Reich knew if Matt stayed in this, not only were we going to have to pay him probably more money because of games in the contract and all that, but also meant that he was going to lose his job at the end of the season. So why not put the pressure on a young quarterback who we can't say if he loses every game this year, you can't say, well, Frank needs to be fired because this guy came in week 8 as having to pick up the pieces to a broken puzzle. I mean, this guy got given a 2,000-piece puzzle with nothing, and he's trying to figure out how to get it stitched together. So, of course, it's going to give Frank Reich a cop-out for the rest of the season. But that's just what I want to talk about. And I mentioned that before we get into this game because it's kind of a setting the precedent.
Talk that truth.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Because
I believe that too.
Yeah. There's just no way. There's no way you can sit here with a straight face and tell me that they wanted to make this move because, like we all talked about, we saw what Matt cooked up against the Titans. What would happen if he had won? You mean to tell me that you had already had it made up that even if he won back-to-back games and no injury, he was going to be sitting on left bench? Let's not lie to ourselves. Let's not lie.
There was something brewing back there with the coaching staff and Matt Ryan and everybody. But, like I said last episode, Matt Ryan isn't free from the sins he committed on our offense. So, but I will say Sam Ehlinger, he looked pretty straight on his first start of his career. 17 for 23 for 201 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Did lose a fumble, though. I don't want to fault him too much for that. It was his first game, got them jitters. Wanted to take off right there. But, oh, man, that fumble and a Jonathan Taylor fumble, I think, really undid us. Because we could have got some points on the board right there. It could have been a completely different outcome. But I thought it was a pretty good showing from him. I liked what the offense was doing around him. His mobility was definitely showing. Especially in the first and second quarter, I thought the Michael Pittman Jr. connection was there. Just the way Ehlinger was able to maneuver the pocket to make plays, it looked really good. It looked really different. Got the RPO offense rolling, opening up some lanes for Jonathan Taylor. It was just, I don't know. To me, it looked like a completely different offense. Despite the fact we weren't putting up numbers, despite the fact we weren't putting up points on the board, but. I was liking it. I mean, even Frank Reich was getting fancy with the offense near the end of the second quarter. Some jet sweeps. You had some I mean, you had Sam Ehlinger looking like he was about to get the ball back on a takeoff. I mean, he was getting fancy back there. So, what do you think, Jamal?
No, I agree with all that you just said, and I really like that you touched on Frank's playbook and kind of what he did in getting fancy. Because again, as I said, man, I'm gonna say this till the cows come home. These crazy small time adjustments are when you are on the hot seat. He said, I got to go in my bag now because it hadn't looked good given this bland vanilla offense all year long. So all of a sudden, you get a quarterback out there who's a little more mobile. The jet sweeps are out there, the RPO, everything. I mean, and it looked good. Like their pace looked good, energy was up really good. So everyone looked great. But I just really wish the offense could have. Well, and I shouldn't say could have done better because honestly, it was the penalties that held us back. Even we had a couple runs where Sam had broke off for a 20-yard run and I think a 14-yard run. And what do you know? Matt Pryor shaking it up as per usual. Excuse me, as per usual, finding a way just to terrorize something and make it bad. So that really shot us down there.
What do you have? A false start and a holding?
And a hold. Yep. And it's just like, here we go again. Back to square one with him. But I mean, like you mentioned, excuse me, I'm sorry. O-line didn't block really. Oh, that one play. Yeah. At the first quarter, when Sam. The play where Sam, the O-line didn't block. It was in the first quarter, and Sam did he got smoked. And the look on his face was just like, yo, you got to be kidding me. And that was kind of a welcome to the league moment, welcome to your choppy O-line moment. And of course I think it was Matt Pryor's guy who snuck through there. Yeah, I'm probably just picking on him, but I'm pretty sure it was.
It probably was.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, yeah, there you go. And he wasn't too happy about it, but he shook it off and he kept going. JT looked great. Ehlinger had a couple great scrambles out there, but on that 3rd and goal, man, Quentin Nelson, geez Louise, when we were down there in 3rd and goal, when JT got stuffed, we were on the 1 yard line, half-yard line or something like that. Mm-hmm. Quentin, I don't know what happened. Someone didn't know their assignment, and Quentin just didn't look up, and the linebacker came straight through, and they got him. It stuffed JT, and we just lost out on a free touchdown right there.
Yeah, I really thought the Colts were going to opt for a QB sneak or something with Sam Ehlinger right there. I think it was 3rd and goal, but it was inches away from the goal line. So I really thought we were going to try for, a 1 yard play. Jonathan Taylor up the middle is still, that's a still good play.
Oh, yeah.
It's Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
So you would think that would hit, but then when it actually didn't, you start thinking about, well, what else could we have done there to be, successful for that to be a touchdown? So
definitely.
I won't say Jonathan Taylor did great today.
Yeah.
That fumble, that was bad. Mm-hmm. That's bad. We got to secure the ball. He was really good about that last year. And now he's it's just really bad to see 2 fumbles that I really think cost us the game.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, I'm not going to give him a cop-out for those fumbles because those shouldn't happen, especially an experienced vet like himself who knows. I'm going to call him an experienced vet, but an experienced player like himself. But I definitely think that not playing a lot this year. Sorry, I keep coughing. Not playing a lot this year definitely contributed to that because you're not up to the hits. You're not used to the game speed and the flow because even after he broke like a 20-yard run, he was gassed. He looked like he was like, yeah, call out the stretcher on me. So I'm not going to sit here and say that him playing that volume that he played today, because he did a lot of plays where he didn't touch the ball, where he was going out and he was out at a receiver spot, so he was still running some small routes and things like that. I'll be willing to say that fatigue probably stepped in for him. I think that Sam's was more jitters and JT's was more fatigue. Again, we can't have either one because we had enough of it with Matt Ryan, but I definitely think that theirs came from, 2 different styles than what we've seen over the past, 6-7 weeks.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's ankle obviously isn't 100% too because he came out of the game for about a quarter almost, came back in, but he still looked like the Jonathan Taylor of old. Yeah, I would have to say Sam Ehlinger. Because his fumble, it looked like it wasn't even hand. Yeah, but not even by a defender. It just kind of it looks like as he was switching hands or something, it just kind of came out, and that was really bad to see. Jonathan Taylor's was I mean, he kind of had the ball out, and it was facing the defender, and it just got punched out. But I will say, Alec Pierce and Paris Campbell, they had some great plays today. Alec Pierce, you saw that downfield catch, that bomb from Sam Ehlinger. Sam Ehlinger, y'all keep saying he don't have an arm. It's there. It's right there. That bomb to Alec Pierce. 3 catches for 65 yards, and then we had Paris Campbell. Only 2 catches for 43 yards, but boy, he also had a carry for 28 yards.
Yes, sir, he did.
So he had 2 big plays, and Paris Campbell, yards after catch guy, it's starting to come to fruition. He is that guy. When healthy, of course, and he's been healthy all season. No setbacks, no anything. I mean, I think he's played in every single game. Yeah, he hasn't been hurt at all. Very, very big chunk plays from them. Michael Pittman, 7 catches for 53 yards. Not the best showing from him, just because of that one bad drop at the very end of the game when it was like 22 seconds left. Thought we could have a chance to maybe scramble out a field goal. He could have got 20-plus yards on that play. And it
easily.
It was a perfect dime from Ehlinger. And it was just, that was a terrible drop by him. But, I would say our offense, it was looking good. I'll be honest, because, I mean, we had 324 total yards. It's just every time we drove into the red zone, something bad happened. Whether we stalled for a field goal or turned it over, we just could not punch it into the end zone. And that was really the only fault of the offense today. I mean, it still comes back down to them as to why we lost. But Sam Ehlinger's first NFL start, I thought it went well.
Yep, I fully agree. I mean, we shot ourselves in the foot with those red zone plays. We can't have that. That just can't happen. Of course, like you mentioned, I think we had too many opportunities. At one point, we could have probably been up 24-7. No questions asked. We could have been up big, and it was just the small things, the fumbles, the penalties, all these things that just stalled the drive out, especially in the first half, because, I mean, we were firing. I wasn't even, like, I would have been fine, because we went into halftime 7-3, I believe it was. Went to halftime 7-3, I believe it was, and I was just thinking to myself that, all right, this is the first game. We're not going down 14-0 at halftime. It's okay. Like, I would have been okay with us going for it instead of kicking the field goal, because we'd only been down by 1 full possession, things like that. I wouldn't have mind. But, you know, Eric, one positive I did see, and I know that they must have watched or listened to the cast or watched it on YouTube, because when Hines scored that touchdown, did you notice what was in there? 2 backs. 2 backs were back there. That's exactly what I said, man. You got to have that, because they didn't know what to do. I'm going to be real with you. I wanted JT to get the ball, but then Hines got it, and I saw him bust open to the left. I was like, all right, I'm not mad about it. But it's the dual threat. It's the dual threat right there, and it'll make life so much easier for us.
Nyheim Hines, he's a weapon. He had a tremendous catch before that, too, before he jetted in for that 7 or 6 points. So Nyheim Hines, he showed off his deadliness today as well. I don't know. The offense looked pretty good. If they would have capitalized and got touchdowns, like it would have been so good. We would have came in with a different attitude today. We would have been 4-3-1. I mean, things would be so much different, but we could not generate points in the red zone. So we'll see. We'll see what happens from here on out. But our defense, I'll let you know right now, they were rock solid, like for 3 straight quarters. I mean, this might have been one of the best showings by our defense. I mean, I've always said our defense is above average. Hasn't been, the Colts' downfall. This is not the reason why we're losing games, because of our defense. And, Zaire Franklin, I still think I still think he's playing at an elite level as a linebacker, but I could tell you right now who did not play an elite level today. I'm not gonna lie. Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stephon Gilmore got Terry McLaurin got the best. Scary Terry got the best of Stephon Gilmore today. I'll be honest. Yeah, he had 6 catches for 113 yards. I mean, they were all on Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore was on him all day, and it really came down to, because at first I was like, Stephon Gilmore's getting beat today. That's fine because we're gonna win this game. No, that last play on that drive, or second to last play, where Stephon Gilmore lost that jump ball to Terry McLaurin, because he got the ball, basically just ripped him out. Just ripped him out of the hands for like a 48-yard gain. I mean, that sealed the deal for that drive, and I don't know. McLaurin kind of just played with him today. What did you think, Jamal?
Yeah, I agreed. He did. He had a field day with him, and he just showed, man. I mean, he still got. I mean, I shouldn't say he still got it. He's still on the uptick. Shout out to him, hometown kid, but he looked really good out there. And I mean, Kenny Moore got burned a couple times too, on that, by McLaurin on that touchdown drive they had earlier during the game. I mean, he started off strong, and then I looked up and Kenny Moore was just on the ground flat out, and McLaurin had 30, 40-yard gains. So it wasn't just, he was picking and choosing who he wanted to make fun of today. And I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and not appreciate what he did, because he looked great out there. It was a test for our DBs, and I think it was a really, like you said, a test for Gilly and the strong hands team. I mean, he just showed up and showed out. So I wasn't too happy to see that. But like you talked about earlier, Zaire, man, dude is an animal. That fourth quarter play where he just smoked through the line. I think he had dropped back a little bit, and then he noticed Gibson had the ball and just came jetting through that open gap and just ate him up in the backfield.
Like a missile.
Golly, yeah. I mean, he was just play after play after play in hearing his name. So I was excited. I'm always excited for him whenever he's on the field, and he's been so consistent. So it was nice to see Shaq on the field with that interception as well. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we needed. We needed turnovers. Of course, we always need more, but it felt good for the first time in forever to get a turnover and to show, that the defense can do it. And again, I hope that Shaq doesn't leave again.
12th career interception.
Yeah. Isn't that most? Yeah, he's leading backers right now.
Think so. I think so. All active linebackers.
Yeah, keep don't be talking about Fred Warner when we got Shaq out there. Don't be mentioning that name.
Well, it looked like Shaquille Leonard kind of missed his assignment.
Yeah. On
that first touchdown for the Commanders in the first half, because I don't know, there was like 4 people underneath in the middle, and for some reason we could not stop anybody out the backfield today. All these swing passes, wheel routes, whether it was Antonio Gibson or Brian Ross, it was just whoever was in the backfield. These check down plays that are supposed to be the safety net, plays that might net you, 3 or 4 yards. They were getting first downs on every single one of them. I think we were getting beat up in that department. We started getting beat up late, in the air, with Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, all that. Because, yeah, like you were saying, Kenny Moore, he always makes, lately, he's been making some great, 1 or 2 great plays, but it's always in the run game, or whether it's a wide receiver screen and he reads it right, something behind the line of scrimmage, Kenny Moore will make a play. But in pass coverage, I am sick to my stomach when I see him covering somebody. It's just, he gets beat a lot. And this is why, I hate to say it, but like, he's gonna stay with that nickelback tag. Like, he's gonna be, upper echelon of nickelbacks, but like, he wants to be, I remember him saying, like, he's a cornerback. Well, you need to prove you're good in coverage. Like, Stephon Gilmore got beat this game, but Kenny Moore, we're talking about him almost every game just getting beat in coverage, and it needs to stop. It really does. So I think the one thing that killed us this game was just those routes out of the backfields, those swing passes. We just couldn't stop them. I don't know why that happened, but overall, I thought our defense was very good. Like DeForest Buckner came out in the game, his bionic arm. Started, I think, the first or second drive on defense with a sack. Killed it. Unique Ngakoue, Ifeadi Odenigbo, Grover Stewart.
Household name now, boy.
I was about to say, can we talk about Grover Stewart? He was looking really good today. I mean, one pass deflection, one tackle for a loss, 6 solo tackles. He was everywhere. And I think this is Grover Stewart's best year. And I'm happy to see it. I want to say you called it.
I was going to say it. Yeah, you're right.
Grover Stewart was going to have his best year because he was basically going to play off, Unique, Kwity Paye, DeForest Buckner. He was going to be able to play off them because they were going to need more attention.
Mm-hmm.
And he has showed out. Like, he was a stud last week, too. Grover Stewart might be our MVP on defense.
No lies at all. None.
But, I thought they did a phenomenal job, sans that last drive. But I won't say anything really bad about the defense other than, those passes out of the backfield. Got to be able to check those up.
Yep, I agree. I don't have anything extra to add to that. I mean, you hit the nail right on the head with that. I liked what I saw overall. We got to, as much as we have to make sure those swing passes and stuff don't come out, we have to make sure we capitalize on offense as well, though, because we can't be in the situations where we're always waiting on our defense to get us out of a bind. That's just not a smart way to play. We can't hope that they get 3 turnovers so we can be fine. We can't hope that Gilly can't let up one or 2 plays per game. That's just not realistic. I understand that that's their job, but it's also the offense's job to make sure they get down the field, which makes me kind of go straight into coaching. Frank Wright did a great job the first half calling these plays. He looked really good calling these plays. He was definitely in his bag trying to think of what he could do to make us better. And he did it in the fourth quarter as well. But it kind of died down in the third quarter. He went back to Vanilla Frank. And I felt like because we finally got a little lead, got a little cushion, and it was time to take our foot off the gas. We don't need to speed anymore. We don't need to speed anymore. We can put it on cruise control. And Eric, I will say it again until the cows come home. You gotta speed. You got to. Yo, the only way you're going to get caught is if you slow down. The cops can't catch you if you keep going. And the cops caught up to us today. And it's going to happen every single game. Again, there's no reason why we shouldn't have had 24, 28 points on the board. It was a breath of fresh air that entire game. The stadium sounded like it was rocking. Everyone was there for a good time. And it was looking so good. And then we started letting off the gas. Oh, let's let them catch up. We're tired of pulling away this far. Let's let them catch up. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh shit, we're in trouble. And then we're playing from behind. And you know how it is. Every time we play from behind, it's the same thing. We can't do it. It just can't happen. So it was disappointing to see that Reich didn't keep his foot on the pedal the entire game. I'm just guessing that it's not his mentality. Blowout style is not his mentality. And I get it. I don't agree with it. I get it. I think that if we were up by 50, 60 points, fine, whatever. But you're up by we were up by 2 scores. And we just said, nah, 2 scores. They got 9 minutes left. We're not worried about it. We can coast. It doesn't work like that. You gotta keep going strong the entire game.
And it doesn't get better after this, Jamal. I don't know. Have you seen our schedule?
Unfortunately, yes.
We have some tough games ahead. I won't say right now I'm ready to tank, ready to look at mock drafts. But I tell you what, if we lose at Gillette next weekend, I might have to throw in the white flag because we still have the Eagles. We still have the Cowboys. We still have the Giants, the Vikings. those are all tough games, and they're not 50-50 games. Eagles, right. Colts, that's a 90-10 game. Yeah. Cowboys, Colts, 80-10. Cowboys are looking good now, and we're going to go into Dallas. Chargers, I mean, I don't know, Jamal. This is we really needed this win, and now that I just said that, I don't know. It might be time to throw in the white flag. It's looking rough. I will say. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I just want to shout out Chase McLaughlin. He's been automatic in his short career with the Colts. 100% on extra point attempts. I think he's hitting 90.9% of his field goals. Shout out to him. You know your kicker is playing well if you don't have to talk about him on a weekly basis. So I just want to give a shout out to him. But yeah, it's looking rough for the Colts. I really don't know where to go here, Jamal. Where would you like to go?
I told you a couple weeks ago it's time to tank because there's this one quarterback I've seen. He was rocking a orange and black jersey here the other night. They were playing against a team that was wearing white and blue, and I know people kept saying Will Levis was next up, but Hooker just kind of showed what he can do with that rock. With that rock. And I wouldn't mind seeing him cross over to the blue. Just come up a couple hours from Nashville, make his way to Indianapolis, and call it home. Tank.
And see, he is going to be available probably where we pick to. So I don't care if Hendon Hooker wins the Heisman. I guarantee you C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young will probably go before him just because they're younger. They probably have more potential. I mean, Hendon Hooker's having a phenomenal year, and we might be able to grab him, but, he's going to be 25 when he plays in the NFL. Front office on every NFL team's like, whoa, he's too old. I don't know if we can draft him. So I'm just saying, those quarterbacks, even Will Levis and all them, there's going to be quarterbacks available. So let's keep our chin up.
Absolutely.
Colts Nation. I don't know where we go with this season, but we're still going to, every week, we are going to say, let's go Colts.
Absolutely. Ain't nothing changed.
Hey. Well, that's going to be it for us, everyone. I want to thank everyone for tuning to the Colts Cast today. We release episodes bi-weekly. Go ahead and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. Y'all take care.
Take care.